Let's ask my great friend Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman and editor-in-chief and author of the very important book, speaking of Bernanke, Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It. Steve, welcome back.
Good to be with you.
So, it's not personal. I know Ben Bernanke, but I don't think he deserved the Nobel Prize. Is it as bad as Paul Krugman? Well, nothing could be as bad as Paul Krugman. But maybe he was. I don't know. What do you think about this Bernanke business?
Well, it'd be like awarding Jimmy Carter. Remember G. William Miller, the head of the Federal Reserve that presided over the great inflation in the late 1970s, rewarding bad performance.
Right.
I mean, his keeping interest rates low. For 300 years, economists, back to John Locke, would debate, should you have interest rates? And they said if you suppress interest rates, you suppress the economy, distort markets, and get bad results. So centuries later, these guys are doing what had been bashed centuries ago by great thinkers. They suppressed interest rates like rent control. And what happened? Why would Apple, biggest money machine in the world next to the printing press of the Federal Reserve, borrows over $100 billion? Why? Because the money's free. So they pay dividends, buy in stock and all that kind of thing. Small businesses get hurt. And they did it all around the world. All central bankers, like sheep, followed Ben Bernanke. And as a result, you have scores of countries way over indebted today, a lot of zombie companies walking out there. And now it's all coming home to roost. And what is happening is with the Federal Reserve and others raising interest rates, you're going to have a downturn, you're going to have these bankruptcies, you're going to have this distress all around the world, exchange rates and the like. And so what are they going to do about it? They don't know. And the Fed still believes, you've talked about it on and on and on, believes the best way you control inflation is not by stabilizing the dollar, but by trashing the economy, making people poorer.
I know, it's
absolutely
bizarre.
Perverse, malpractice on an epic scale.
You think I'm wrong to suggest that the same mistakes are being made? I mean, you're sort of hinting at that. It's not exactly the same, but what Jay Powell's doing and was doing when Biden came in office and wanted, Jay Powell cheerleaded for the big stimulus package we didn't need and kept opening up the monetary spigots, which for someone like what Bernanke did post 9/11, even though Bush's tax cuts were quite successful, he nonetheless opened up the spigots wider and wider and wider and ignored all the warning signals in the commodity markets, for example, and the dollar. I mean, it's kind of history repeating itself.
It did. And the commodity markets, as you pointed out in the early 2000s, were warning bad things were going to happen. And they did. They focused on the real estate market, but somewhere something's going to blow up big time. And now, in 2021, what excuse did Powell have for buying $120 billion of bonds a month, $40 billion of mortgage-backed securities, when clearly the COVID crisis, where the worst was over, the economy was beginning to recover, and yet he printed the money and had to use a gimmick reverse repos, now it's standing at $2.3 trillion.
Yeah, you've talked about it.
So he goes from too little to too much now. He's now trashing the economy. Doesn't have to happen. And he's going to be forced to reverse himself when this stuff starts to hit the fan. The world's not going to stay still. What they forget at the Fed, they're a global institution. What they do affects not just America, but the whole world. And as England gets in trouble, as Europe gets in trouble, Japan's in trouble, you're going to have a real blow up.
Just on that point, Bernanke used to say, and he said it a bunch of times, that the job of the Fed was not the foreign exchange markets and was not foreign economies. And I've heard Jay Powell say similar things, maybe not quite as explicitly. But in fact, it seems to me stabilizing the dollar, relative to foreign currencies, but relative to commodities, to gold, real assets, the things that money actually buys. Why not? What's wrong with that approach? And it would take you away from this stop and go, or go and stop.
Or this whole fallacious thinking, hubris on a grand scale, of the idea that by manipulating interest rates or some other tool, Janet Yellen's toolbox, that you can guide the economy. The economy will do fine on its own, ups and downs, but always a trend line of upward. They don't have to guide it. They don't have to say, I love it when the times are good and they say, oh, we're about to overheat. If you get a pay raise, do you start sweating at night? Gosh, I'm overheating. Take the money away. It's preposterous. Leave it alone. We're not machines.
If you go back many years ago, when we were younger, you were running for president. The argument was, it's your tax changes that affect economic growth incentives, as per Laffer, et cetera, And it's your monetary stability, your currency, your king dollar stability that will keep prices stable. Now, here we are again, Steve, 40, 45 years later, almost 50 years later. You and I have been through it. We still haven't learned that. Or let me say this, the economics profession, the PhD profession, will never admit to that.
Because it takes away their power. If you have something like the gold or commodity standard, where does that leave them? Uber drivers, and which would be more useful than what they're doing now.
Would be useful.
But money is meant to make transactions. It's meant to measure value. So you don't change ounces in the pound or minutes in the hour. You want a stable value. So you can make an investment today and get something back, and you're going to get something real in 5 years from now. The growth rate, we've discussed this before, when we went off the Bretton Woods gold standard, has declined by a third.
Yes.
Median household income today, $70,000. If we just maintained our average growth rates, that income today would be $110,000.
This is from your book on inflation. Very important.
$40,000 of lost income.
After all these ups and downs. Even with some good supply side tax policies, not always, but some good ones.
Yeah, they sometimes got things right, and then they blasted it away.
That's right.
And so talk about education. We need some teachers to teach these people remedial education on a grand scale, the whole profession. But it's all about power, Larry.
See, I agree with that. I think you're absolutely right. And I think it's too bad that the economics profession has deteriorated. Now, it's not unanimous. There are some very fine economics professors out there, just not very many. And
it's cancel culture.
That's right. That's right. The profession has really moved to the left, to the Phillips curve and now modern monetary theory. So, I mean, in some sense, my criticism is, yes, it's of Ben Bernanke, but it's really of the profession as a whole, which has been so disappointing. See, before we lose you, I want to come back to something you said on Harris Faulkner's show about Biden's incredibly preposterous oil energy policy, where he can't seem to distinguish clean oil versus dirty oil, and it just so happens that the dictators of the world have dirty oil, and that's what he's pushing, which is an awful thing.
Yes, you'd think that they would want clean oil or clean gas, which we have better than any other country. Venezuela is notorious for what they call heavy crude, dirty crude, and you need special refineries to be able to handle that gooey, thick stuff. And so why do you go to refineries like that where you have to have more equipment to make sure you're not polluting the atmosphere? Venezuela, why don't you do the clean stuff here at home? Even coal, we do better here, cleaner here than anywhere else in the world. And so I think that's going to be an issue, and I hope the Republicans hit it hard between now and November. That's a killer issue. Why Venezuela? Why Putin? Why OPEC over American?
Right. What you said on Harris's show, to win a few votes in the November election, they're going to undermine the economy, quite willing to undermine the environment. This is the dirty part, because they think the future is with windmills and solar panels, and it isn't. It's much more expensive. So I don't understand. I mean, I know the foreign policy is awful. There's no energy security. They're ripping apart SPRO in case there's another Arab embargo. We're not going to have enough reserves, petroleum reserves. But just this basic thought, there is a difference. Not all oil is the same. Not all oil is equal. God, I got that out. All oil, not all of it is the same. Why don't they get that, for heaven's sakes?
Because they don't want to. They see this future as windmills and solar panels. They forget the mining that goes into it, ripping up the earth. And so I hope the Republicans say, do you want my opponent who believes in more spending, more taxes, higher interest rates, and more regulations? Is that the formula for success? Okay, defend it. They can't. Hit them with it. Hit them hard.
That's why they're going to get clobbered.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Steve Forbes, terrific stuff. Lots of good lessons in that, folks. Lots of good monetary lessons as well as energy lessons.